Hello friends, today we will start our journey to prepare for Salesforce Admin Certification exam. Throughout this process, we will deep dive into key concepts and terminologies, supplemented with the real-world examples and demonstrations. After each chapter, we will also provide you with the Salesforce Admin interview questions and answers to solidify your understanding and readiness. Let's get started and make this learning experience both enriching and enjoyable. Today, we will talk about cloud computing, cloud service models, Salesforce and CRM basics, Salesforce environments. Salesforce is a cloud computing company. It makes cloud-based softwares, so it is essential and good to start with learning cloud computing. Cloud is basically internet or network. Cloud computing is nothing but computing over the internet. Storing and accessing data over internet is achieved using cloud computing. Cloud can provide services over internet, may it be private or public internet. Traditionally, there used to be physical servers, server rooms, and businesses have to have a separate team to maintain these servers, storage, database, and networks. This whole task was very tedious, complex, and time consuming. With the introduction of cloud computing, all this process is replaced because we can now get all these server services over the internet, and we need not to maintain or worry about these physical servers, their security, their updates, or their installation anymore. And businesses can totally focus on how to grow your business in market rather than worrying about maintaining physical hardwares. One of the best thing about cloud computing is that you have to pay only for the services that you are using without worrying about any other stuff. And it's totally scalable. You can buy more storage or more resources as per your requirement at any point of time. Let's talk about how this cloud computing is in Salesforce. Cloud computing in Salesforce is basically refers to delivery of computing services over the internet. Services like servers, storage, database, networking, analytics, intelligence, all these can be directly delivered to the client or to the businesses over the internet. Salesforce leverage cloud computing to provide various services and products like CRMs, making it easier for business to use technology and streamline operations without the need for extensive on-premise infrastructure or maintaining these physical hardwares or team to maintain for them. Businesses now do not have to worry about any upgrade or runtime accessibility or maintenance or security. They can totally rely for all of these services on their service providers. This way, we also get platform independency, as we need not to install any softwares or applications locally on our PC, but rather than we can directly log into that or access these applications on internet. We can use these services anywhere by using any device. Cloud computing architecture. Basically, cloud computing architectures are broadly divided into two parts: front end and back end. Front end is a client facing end of computing system, we can call it that, and it includes user interface and the applications that are used to access computing platforms. Like we have internet, and on browsers we go search for something, and then if we have credentials we can also log in into those applications. So those all steps are done from front end. When we talk about backend, backend is actually cloud itself. It has, or it consists of all of these data storage, virtual machineries, security mechanism, deployment models, runtime, application data, and all of it comes under the backend. You can better understanding these two architectures from the picture. Here you can see client infrastructure, that is front end. Front end and back end are connected by internet. If we have internet, we can use front end to access backend functionalities. So you can see in backend we have all of it infrastructures. It means servers and machineries, then storage, their cloud runtime, all the services, their security management, and all of it falls into backend. Let's go ahead and talk about cloud service models. So there are basically three types of models. or you can say cloud servicing that are provided. The first one is infrastructure as a service, or we call it IaaS, platform as a service, PaaS, and software as a service, SaaS. So in first, infrastructure is provided as a service to your client, and this, it provides access to all of this networking, storage, servers, and operating systems, all these components. So the client is provided access to all these components. These will be maintained and taken care by your service provider, whereas application, data, and runtime management will be taken care by the client. So if you buy infrastructure as a service, you need to take care of applications, data, and runtime, whereas servers and storage, networking, all these will be taken care by your service provider. So infrastructure as a service have some characteristics. It includes all the virtual machines with the pre-installed softwares, virtual machinery with pre-installed operating system, Windows or Linux, on-demand availability of resources. It means you can buy more storage or resources as per your requirement at any point of time. So computing resources can be easily scaled down or scaled up. It means if you have more requirement, you can buy more. And if you think you do not need the services that you have bought, you can downgrade those services as well as per your contract. Next is platform as a service, or we call it PaaS. Platform as a service, it provides runtime, middleware, operating system, along with all other hardwares like networking, storage, servers. So we can say, if we switch from infrastructure as a service to platform as a service, you will just need to take care of applications and your data. All other stuff will be taken care by your service provider. So PaaS has a feature of point and click tools that enable non-developers to create web applications. It means you have the platform and you can use this platform for your developer works. It means your developers can build application on here and they can deploy it to other environments as well. So web servers and development tools. So in case of Salesforce, we have force.com, that is Salesforce platform, that comes under the category of PaaS because this is development tool and you can use it for your development activities. Characteristics of PaaS are: PaaS offers a browser-based development environment. PaaS provides built-in security, scalability, and web service interface. PaaS also provides web services interfaces that allow you to connect to the applications. You can connect to the other applications as well. Third model is SaaS. SaaS is software as a service, where you do not need to worry about maintaining your data security, database, servers, physical servers, operating systems, your runtime, your middlewares, or your networking. Everything will be taken care by your service provider, and you can straight away use these services or applications using the internet. As you can see, this model allows software applications such as a service to end users. It refers to software that is deployed on a hosted service and you need not to worry about it. You can directly access these services using internet, but you should have credentials for that, right? SaaS applications such as billing and invoicing systems, Salesforce CRS system is a SaaS model of service, and emails like Gmails, you have created your account, you have credentials, and you can access that services from web browser from anywhere at any point of time. So that is SaaS. Characteristics of SaaS are available on demand. You need to buy the license and get the credentials. Software is maintained by the vendor. You do not have to worry about it, about maintaining software, security, upgrade, and different updates. You need not to worry about any of this. You can totally focus on increasing your business in market. At any point of time, you can scale up or scale down. And SaaS offer a shared data model that we also call it multi-tenant model, where the basic infrastructure is shared by many customers. They share the basic infrastructures and service, but their data and security is securely stored separately from each other, and they owners of these services feel like as they are owner of this whole instant, but they share the basic infrastructure. Let's go ahead and we talk about SaaS, IaaS and PaaS. You can see the difference here. In traditional IT that we talked a little bit about, we used to have big servers, storage, network, visualization, operating system, and all of these used to be on premise. They used to be maintained on premise, and businesses used to have a separate team and workforce staff to maintain all the servers, storage, and runtime data applications. Then, as cloud computing introduced, and we had three models in infrastructure as a service, you can see networking, storage service, and virtualization operating system. They are delivered as a service by your service provider, whereas the application data runtime, you have to manage it. You need to take care of these their upgrade, installation, and everything. In PaaS, you only have to manage applications and data. Rest all the services will be provided by your service provider. In SaaS, you need not to worry about anything. Everything will be taken care by your service provider. You just need internet and credentials to access the service. This can help you to understand it more clearly. So you can see infrastructure as a service. Key players in market are Amazon that provide AWS cloud, Microsoft provide Azure, then Google GCP, and there are other players as well. General component in this are compute, redundancy, memory storage, and all of that, server, storage, network. When we come to platform as a service, key players, you can see Salesforce has force.com or Salesforce platform that they provide as platform as a service. And apart from that, there are NetSuite, MuleSoft, and here they have point and click and coding, both the features available for your development and deployment. When we come to SaaS, then there are some key players: Facebook, LinkedIn, Gmail, Office 365, LinkedIn, all of you think. And this is directly provided to end user. You just need internet and access to those services. Next, many times we are confused between Salesforce and CRM. CRM is basically application, whereas Salesforce is a company. When we talk about Salesforce, sometime in interview they ask, what is Salesforce? So Salesforce is basically a global web-based application and basically cloud computing company. It makes cloud-based softwares that help businesses to attract more of the prospect, to close more deals with them, and to collaborate effectively with employees and partners. Salesforce is best known for its CRM management tool, that is Salesforce CRM, that helped to close more deals and capture more revenue. It helps sales in closing deals and marketing in capturing more of the prospects and converting them into deals or opportunities. So basically we can say Salesforce is a company that makes cloud-based softwares, and CRM is one of their application, but Salesforce is more popular for their CRM products. CRM stands for Customer Relationship Management. It is an application used to automate sales and marketing functions. It manages organization interactions like phone calls, emails, meetings, and social media with customers and sales, marketing, and support. It also helps teams to collaborate internally and externally with employees and partners. CRM helps in marketing by designing campaigns and capturing all your campaign efforts and analyzing how this campaign has performed. CRM helps in sales by closing more deals and engaging more of the prospect, capturing more prospect. It helps in support. CRM helps in supporting your customers before purchasing the product and after purchasing the product. It also helps to capture feedbacks from your customer once they have purchased your services. There are many CRM providers in market. You can see a list. We have Salesforce CRM, then we have CRM from Microsoft Dynamics, Oracle, SAP, Sage, NetSuite, and many more. With that, let's talk about Salesforce Editions. So Salesforce has basically 5 editions, and these editions, those defines the functionality and the limit on the data that you can store in the additions. When you buy a addition, and that is the time when you have the limits on functionality of that particular addition. Then we have Salesforce CRM services. Salesforce CRM provides services for all these segments. For Sales Cloud, it helps in closing more of the sales, capturing more prospect, capturing all the interactions with your customers, and then capturing the collaboration within the team and with your partners. In service, it does provide, it captures all the feedbacks and support that you provide before someone buy your product, or after he has bought your product and he has any complaints, maybe compliments or feedbacks. Then it helps in capturing data. You can capture big data, can analyze the data. And then in Marketing Cloud, it helps you in your marketing efforts by designing the campaign, by sending out decorated or designed emails to your customers for your events and all those activities. With that, let's talk about Salesforce environments. Salesforce environment basically are a specific instance, or you can call it spaces within Salesforce ecosystem, where organizations can develop, test, and run their applications, and business process. So you can see some of the character of environment. Environment contains the data, your data, and your customizations that you do that is specific for your business processes. Each environment is dependent on the addition of Salesforce that you have bought or you have taken license for, because the addition controls the functionality and limit on data storage for particular addition, right? And all these environments can be accessed from web browser. So there are basically three types of environments that you can see from here: production environment, develop environment, and testing environment. So let's talk about production environment. Production environment is the live environment where end users access the Salesforce system to perform their day-to-day operations. This is the environment where real data is stored and where users interact with applications to carry out the business processes. You can do several customizations in your production environment itself, like you can build custom object, fields, and validations rule. You can even build custom application, but only with point and click, but with no Apex code. It is advised not to do any customization or developments within production environment, rather than do that in development environment, because production environment is the live environment, and when you do direct development in the production, it might interfere with the day-to-day functioning of your users. So that's why it is always advised to do all the developments in your sandbox development environments. So second environment is development environment that we are talking about. So development environment is basically used for development, testing, and training without affecting the live system. So this is isolated environment. This is isolated from your production. If you do any development or testing in your development environment, it would not affect your production data or live data. This environment is totally isolated and meant for designing, development, and testing. It allows teams to test changes and new features in a safe space before pushing them to production. So we have developer edition, which is free, fully featured. You can do all the developments here. Then we have sandbox. These comes with the addition of Salesforce that you are buying, or you can order separate sandbox from Salesforce support. So sandbox is it's a small isolated environment from production environment. It's identical to production environment in terms it has all the customization from your productions and also some amount of data so that you can easily build within your sandbox and deploy and test your functionality or new feature within sandbox. There are 4 types of sandboxes: full copy, partial copy, developer sandbox, developer sandbox. You will come to know the differences and the storage limit in our next slide. When we talk about developer sandbox, it's a small isolated environment. It contains a copy of your production metadata only. Our next environment is testing environment. So this environment is specifically for testing purpose. It is a specific environment where end users can test the functionality and provide feedback before it goes live. So anything that we develop, we test that in testing environment. This environment also ensures that the new features meet user requirements and functions as expected in a settings that mimics exactly as production. There are several options for creating dedicated testing environment. You can create a sandbox copy of your production environment. That way it will have all the customization from production and some of the data for test. And then you can develop your application or new customizations in developer environment, and you can push from developer to your sandbox. That way you will be able to test the deployment as well as the functionality of new feature or application. If you do not have any sandbox, then you can create developer edition as a testing environment and can test your customizations there. You can also go for partner developer edition, which provide you environment to test your new features and customizations. In the right hand table, you can see all the additions of developer environment, sandbox and developer, and their license limit, data storage limit, and what all customization or test data do they store. You can get to know from here. Also, you can see here developer sandbox. Its refresh interval is 1 day, storage limit is 200 MB, then it stores only metadata. If you want to test, you need to create the records by your own to test your customizations. So these are the limits on those testing environments. These environments are very important, specifically testing and the developer environment, so that you can test all of your customization without disturbing your live data or live environment, that is production environment. In our next video, we will discuss about interview questions and answers on these topics, and then we will move to our next chapter.